In 9-ball, the spotlight falls on individual players. But when it comes to one event, those individuals bond to form a rather unique team to play in a rather unique event, the Mosconi Cup. It's the Ryder Cup of 9-ball. The very best from Europe and the USA go head-to-head, competing for one of the most famous trophies in the sport. And if you're looking for evidence of the strength and depth that this event offers, day one of the Mosconi provided plenty of that. Day one certainly delivered. The team match proved the perfect curtain raiser to the 22nd staging of the Mosconi. A packed, noisy house welcomed all 10 players who had their chance to write their own piece of Mosconi Cup history. But the defining moment that emerged from a thrilling opening match had more to do with luck than skill, as Mike Decaine's fluke in the deciding rack saw the USA take the opening point. Next up, the first doubles match and a chance for Corey Deuel and Mike Dechaine to push home Team USA's advantage. It all looked to be going to plan as they raced into an early lead, which they then extended to the verge of victory. But that victory was to be cruelly denied with a rare error from Dechaine, all level after 2 matches. In match 3, it was down to Justin Bergman to regain the lead, but he faced one of the tournament's most experienced players, Niels Feijen. The nerves got the better of the American at times. Feijen showed no mercy, inflicting a heavy defeat. The European lead was short-lived. Match 4 saw the combination of Shane Van Boening and Skylar Woodward level the score, restricting Ouschan and Appleton to just a single rack. But who would finish the session and be the overnight leader? Well, that issue was left to 2 Mosconi Cup stalwarts, Darren Appleton and Shane Van Boening. The American, fresh off the back of a doubles win, couldn't repeat the trick against his old rival. So it's Europe who've gained that slight psychological edge after day 1. And on day 2, it's the Americans who struck first with a win in the doubles to level the overall score. Coming up, the first singles match of the session, Mike Dechaine against Albin Ouschan. More doubles action follows, and then the promising young American star, Skylar Woodward, is up against Carl Boyes. And finishing the session, another doubles match. But for the moment, the focus is on Dechaine against Ouschan. Time then to join commentators Jerry Forsythe and Jay Helford.
Welcome back to the city of Lost Wages, Nevada. We're here for all the action on the Mosconi Cup, and man, what a cup it's been so far.
This is a great one.
All-important lag right here.
Jerry, that last match had me on the edge of my seat.
Oh, that was a great match there. Dechaine takes the lag. America gets to kick this off, and Jay, my only concern here is that Mike Dechaine is a very emotional player, and that can either play to great advantage or great disadvantage. He missed a 7-ball yesterday. He's got to have that out of his mind.
I saw him outside before this match started today, and he looked at me and he said, today, he said, Jay, today is a new day.
Okay, Mike.
Let's hope so.
Good for him. Albin Ouschan is a novice in this event. This is his first Mosconi Cup.
He's long been in the shadow of his sister, Jasmine, who's a few years older. She's been the world champion a couple times, but he's really emerged in the last year. 25 years old. He is the Europe rookie. This is only Mike's second Mosconi Cup.
1 ball is down. Trying to see if he's got a possibility of a 2-way shot. Here you see the break again. That 1 ball slides reliably into the side pocket, but the 2 ball stays long way away from the cue.
Safety first here. That's what he wants to do. He'd like to put the cue ball behind, use the 9 and 8 as blockers, and he did it. Albin comes out with his jump cue in his hand.
Well, that will assure a hit, but then it's up to luck.
Albin's got a couple jump cues. This is his long jump cue. He's got a different one for short jump shots.
That was a great jump shot, but what does he have now? This is tough. If he makes the combination off the 5, Jay, that 3 ball is going to be moving to the left.
I'm not sure if the billiard's there. We'd have to see it a little closer. Look at this shot. That was a really tough jump shot. A little bit unfortunate how that 3 ball got bumped over on top of the 5.
Albin certainly not lacking in confidence, but you're right. If that billiard's on, that's the shot.
He's playing it. He's playing the billiard here. Got it.
Oh, yes.
He just squeezed that one in.
He still has a big problem down table because the 6 and the 7, as you can see, are almost married together. So what do you do with that 6 ball?
Well, he's going to have to break him up off the 5 next.
That's risky.
Looks like he's shooting the 3 in the side, trying to hold the cue ball right there. Let's see. He's got a good angle here, Jerry. He will come into this. He wants to come in underneath the 6 and 7.
Yeah, he'd like to knock the 7 ball away and leave the cue ball open to the 6.
This is the kind of shot that almost anything can happen here. It could turn out good for Albin, and it might turn out bad. He's got no choice but to break him up, though. Ooh, he forgot one thing. Look at that. He was perfect on the 6. He just forgot to make the 5 ball.
He's fortunate with the leave on the 5, though.
These pockets are so tough, Jerry. They cannot take anything for granted. They got to take dead aim.
Here you see what happened. 5 ball never really threatened that pocket.
I'll tell you what, it's the toughest diamond table I've ever seen for a pro tournament, right here. Excellent lead by Mike Dechaine. Here comes the jump cue. Well, he's got his playing cue.
Looks like he'll be going rail first then. I don't think he can see the edge of that 5.
Yeah, you're right. Rail first with right English. He wants to kick the 5 up table. He'll hit it.
Yeah, but what does he leave?
Ooh, he almost made that ball. But Mike's got a shot on the 5.
Yeah,
tough shot.
The shot is there. The shape is tough.
I don't know if is he going to try to cut it in the side?
Yeah, and go drive the cue ball up table around the 9 and 8. He does not want to hit the 9 or the 8. Oh, he missed it. He wouldn't have had shape anyway, Jay.
This is quite an interesting first game here, because even though Albin has a shot at the 5, he's jacked up over the 7 ball, which makes it extremely difficult for him to get position on the 6 if he makes the 5.
He can't believe it.
Well, Mike was fortunate on this leave. Wow, look at this shot he's trying here. Well, he hit a good shot, but
he's got to play a safety here. A two-way shot maybe to bank the 6 back into the lower left corner pocket and use the 7 as a blocker, because then he would have a shot on the 7 if he makes the 6. But that shot's just as tough as it sounds like when I describe it.
Albin asks the referee, does he have a extension? And Kenny says, no extension.
Trying to get behind the 7. It's leaked out on him, but this is no gift.
Does Mike even want to try to cut this ball in?
I don't think so.
Extension, please.
I have a sense he's going to shoot at it, Jerry.
Well, I hope he's got a plan B. Because if he misses, he's going to leave an easy table for Albin.
He's taking dead aim here. This is for the game. If he makes it, he'll win the game because he'll be on the 7-ball. Cue ball's going up.
What a shot from Mike Dechaine. They don't get any thinner than that, and he's left himself an out here.
That's the best shot he's made in the tournament so far, right there. It kind of makes up for that missed 5-ball.
Yeah, after that miss, he needed that to lift his spirits back. Take a look at this shot.
That's got to be good for his confidence.
Never a doubt that that was going in.
Boy, he put a big stroke on that ball, too. This looks like the Mike Dechaine we've seen all year.
Yeah, he's had a great year. This to take the first blood. Dechaine puts it down and leads Albin Ouschan 1-0 in our race to 5.
Look at Team USA. There's Captain Mark Wilson. I like the support the team members have given each other so far today for Team USA. We didn't see as much of that yesterday.
Welcome back to Vegas for the Mosconi Cup. It's the USA against Europe and day 2, and the first singles match, which features Mike Dechaine and Albin Ouschan. Dechaine took the opening rack and looked on course to take the second, but a miss on the 2-ball allowed Ouschan back to the table and the chance to level the match. This is now the third.
1-1.
The most important shot in the game of 9-ball right here, the break shot. Looks good. If he made a ball, did he make anything?
Dry break.
Not a bad layout for Albin. Nothing's tied up.
No, we do have a little bit of a crowd on the left-hand side of the table. Take a look. You can see how everything sets up. That 1 ball almost goes in the corner, but almost doesn't get it.
Yeah, you're right. The 5-ball is going to be tricky.
Yeah. Albin will go back and forth across the table for the 2-ball.
I'm sorry, that's the 4-ball that's on the side rail, same side rail as the 6. But he's got the 3 in a good position where if he can just slide off the 3 and shoot the 4 up in the end, that's what he's looking at right now.
Yeah, his shape here is very critical.
Typically, players are thinking 3 balls ahead.
He would like to be straight in on that 4 after he shoots the 3. And that's what's going through his mind.
A lot depends on his position right here from the 2 to the 3. Looks good. Looks good, Jerry.
Yeah.
He can kill that cue ball pretty good, I think.
He sure can.
That's what he's got to do. When I say kill the ball, I mean shoot the 3 in and make the cue ball stop right where his hand is. That's what he'd like to do. Oh, to be Efren Reyes now.
Albin taking his time on this one.
He used the 7-ball instead.
I don't like that shot.
Yeah, he gave himself quite a bit of an angle on the 4 here.
Yeah.
I think the good news is all he's got to do is focus on making the ball because he will have position on the 5 and the side if he makes it. Doesn't have to worry about playing position. You just got to focus on shoot that 4 down in the corner.
He's missed the shot badly.
He overcut it. That bad position hurt him, Jerry.
Yes, it did. And he knows it. Here you see it. He just hit the ball too thin, and it never struck the face of the pocket.
Tough shot here for Mike.
Yeah, but at least he's at the table.
He swished it. Boy, he got the right angle here.
He's got everything he needs to take the table home.
Boy, I'll tell you what, he's got a different look on his face today than he did yesterday. Yesterday he looked a little dazed and confused. Now he looks determined.
And he stopped the clock, please. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to have to remind you again, for the courtesy of the players, as they're even approaching the shot, we'd like you to be still. Thanks a lot.
Somebody must have been
Resume
talking
the clock.
Yeah.
Good job, Kenny Schumann. We got two of the best refs in the business right here, Schumann and Reeves.
Extension, please.
Mike takes his extension, so now there are no more extensions left for this rack.
Key shot right here. Perfect. Perfect.
Only thing he has to consider now is on his shape on the 7 ball, he has to be able to get to the 8 without running into the 9.
Boy, he went a little farther.
Ooh.
You know, it's kind of good that he's by the side pocket because it gives him a little more room to bridge.
Yeah. But he did overamp that a bit.
This is the pocket that he missed on yesterday. A shot.
You and I know that. I hope he doesn't.
Oh, guarantee you he does.
It's in. So yesterday may be erased.
It will be if he gets out right here. You got to take dead aim on these pockets.
Oh, yeah.
They're tight. Beautiful, beautiful.
Mike Dechaine takes us out to a 2-1 lead for Team USA. And the American team comes down to congratulate their man. Stay with us. We'll be back in Las Vegas with you in just a moment.
Welcome back to Vegas and the Mosconi Cup. On day 2 and match 2, there's just a rack between Mike Dechaine and Albin Ouschan. We joined the action at the start of the 4th. Commentary from Jay Helfert and Jerry Forsythe.
Thank you, everybody. Settle down,
3
please.
more
Thank
matches
you.
today to play.
4. Europe is breaking. USA leads 2-1.
We've got a long day of exciting pool here at the Mosconi.
Albin breaking from the other side of the table, and then the 1 ball goes in, plus he's made another and maybe another. Yes, indeed. He's only got 6 balls to clear this table for victory.
These balls are sitting good.
This is a very nice break shot.
Well, it's the best one we've seen so far in this match.
Anytime you can leave that cue ball near the center of the table, you know you've done a good job.
He's going to shoot the 2 and just slide across for the 3 and shoot the 3-6 next. Only danger when you shoot a combination like that 3-6, which is coming up, is you want to make sure you leave the 3 in front of the pocket. Let's see if he can do that. He wanted to give himself this angle so the cue ball will come across table.
Yeah, plus he didn't want to be shooting over any balls. Smart young man. He and his sister run a coaching school back home, so he's on the table quite a bit.
See how he played that? He almost got tied up on top of that ball, on top of that 4. That's the last thing you want to do, is have the cue ball.
That was a smart shot to play the 3 off the rail first.
Yep. He should be fine here. He'll probably just roll the cue ball slowly and shoot the 4 on the side next.
Yeah.
This looks like a real easy rack here to tie the match. I mean, he's made it look easy.
If he's excited, you sure can't see it. His teammates are studying concentration.
Jason Shaw supporting his fellow Europeans, one of the top young players from England.
That's down.
Nice shot.
In great shape.
There's Jason Shaw.
Eagle eye. Everybody, one of everybody's favorite players. Albin Ouschan ties us at 2 off of a fantastic break shot that just left the table at his complete mercy.
That's the captain, Marcus Shamat, first year as the Team Europe captain. The players love this guy.
Oh yeah, here's that break. They just don't come better than this. When you get a break shot like this, well, what you wind up with is an easy 9-ball.
There's the handsome young man. I'll bet you he's got a lot of women fans.
And Mike Dechaine can't wait to attack this table. And that's what Dechaine does. He attacks this game. Very, very aggressive player.
Jerry, I don't think I've ever seen Mike with a full beard like that. Looks good on him.
Yeah, that's new.
And that part in his hair. Mike is 28 years old. He's considered the second best player in the United States after Shane Van Boening.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, his record certainly indicates that.
He's had a big year. He's won several tournaments.
Yep.
Looks, is he dry again?
Yep.
I think so.
It's a dry break.
This time he hides the 1 ball, though. So
This is rack 5. The match is tied at 2.
Albin's going to have to push out here, I believe. Meaning he can shoot the cue ball anywhere on the table he wants. And then Mike will have the option to take the shot or give it back to Albin. Kind of a tricky push out here.
Yeah, there's not a great push choice here.
You can't jump this ball.
Nope. Too close to the side rail. Cue ball would go right off the table.
He's going to say push out soon enough.
Yeah, I think all he's doing now is icing Dechaine a little bit.
You heard our referee, Kenny Schumann, say push. Now, in all likelihood, since Mike can see the 1 ball, he will play some kind of safety. Normally, the player does not give the shot back if he can see the ball. Now, he's not going to try to make anything, but he's going to try to play safe. The 5 is tied up against the 9 now. Ooh, what a nice safety that was.
Oh, he's taken away almost every angle Albin had. This is going to be a tough hit. And to get a good result out of this, well, that's a lot to ask for.
Just to hit it is a lot to ask for.
Extension, please.
I don't know if he'll try to go 3 rails out of the corner. That's what he's looking at now.
I think that's his best choice.
Yeah, side rail and then double the corner into the 1. You got to hit that pretty hard, though, to make sure you get a rail after contact. That's what he's shooting. He's trying to go 3 rails into this ball. He hit it. Came out pretty good.
Not bad. That's a pretty good result, especially since he tied the table up some more. We've got a real nice 4-ball cluster down here on the foot end of the table. That's not going to be easy to solve.
Mike's not wasting any time here.
Yeah, but I fully expect a safety with the cue ball laying behind the 3. As aggressive as Mike is, I mean, he's liable to go for anything, but he could sure tie Albin up here.
He's playing your shot, but I don't think the cue ball's going to quite get there. It did not. He wanted to get that cue ball over behind the 3. But like you said, this is a real tough rack. You see those 4 balls all tied up, the 4, 5, 7, 9?
Yeah, and the first chance you have to get to it is off the 3 ball, which is all the way up at the other end of the table.
Nice camera work there. Thank you, Sky.
Oh, that is ugly.
Boy, he socked that one in the pocket.
A very friendly rug because now the 2 goes in the side, but still he's got problems to face. Take a look at this nudge. Nicely done.
Well, he can make the 2 and he can make the 3, but the dilemma is, what do I do with the 4?
Well, he does have a nice selection of safeties he can play. If he can get back out to mid-table, he can knock the 4 away and marry the cue ball up against either the 5 or the 7.
I think he's got room to lean over the table and bridge on the cue ball, which is very important. He can get down on this shot real good. He's got to draw. I think he's got to draw this ball straight back up the table. See how he's leaning over for this one? Yeah, he's drawing that ball when you cue it real low like that.
Well, he's already picked out the safety he wants to play.
Shoot the 4, pass the 5-9, and kind of hold the cue ball against the 7.
Right.
Good.
Kind of like that. Now this could be a jump. This is one. Yeah, Mike's going over to get his jump cue.
Yeah, the only problem with that shot is Albin didn't freeze him up against another ball.
Well, I think Mike can jump these balls and hit the 4, but I don't think he can make it anywhere.
Extension, please. Thank
Well,
you.
with where that 5 ball lies, no great advantage in making it, except that you would be in control of the table.
Got to make sure you hit it, though. You don't want to give up ball in hand here.
No, that's been the killer.
And you got to be careful the cue ball doesn't go off the table. Well, look at this.
Oh, he's made that ball.
You know, Jerry, there may be a billiard from the 5 to the 9. Can we take a good look at that, guys? There may be a billiard from the 5 to the. That's what he's looking at.
Boy.
You see where Mike is staring at?
That is thin. Referee Schumann's going to have his best eagle eyes to call this hit.
There it is. That's perfect. He wants to just touch the edge of the 5 and make the 9. That's what he's shooting at. Our referee is hovering right over the shot. Oh, no, he played safe instead.
And the 5 ball leaked out. Albin Ouschan has a chance.
Yeah, that's a failed safety if Albin could see that ball. He can see part. He may even try to bank this ball cross side if he can see half the ball. Sometimes when you don't have a good safety, you might as well go ahead and try to make the ball. Oh no, he missed that ball. Let's see.
Yeah, Mike's got a full ball with which to work here.
But these are really difficult shots on this table. Look at he just didn't cut it enough. But when you see a player's got a long shot like this, this is not easy. Wow. Wow.
I'm telling you, Dechaine is hitting them today.
Well, he's got to do it again because he's got a bad angle on the 6. If he wants to shoot it in the side, he's got his work cut out for him to get out this rack.
And he needs to get past the 9 ball coming back for shape on the 7.
Another good hit.
Oh, yes.
Well, he took care of the 2 toughest shots in the rack right there. I'll tell you what, Jerry. We got 2 good matches right here so far today. Mike's got his work cut out here. He's gonna let that cue ball go to the right rail and then draw back up table for the 9.
On a big pocket pool room table, this would be no problem, but this is tight.
Wow.
And he sinks it right in the heart and gets great shape on the 9.
This is for the lead.
Dechaine takes us to a one-game lead for America. It's 3-2 in our race to 5. A lot more pool coming your way. We'll be right back with action from the Mosconi Cup.
Welcome back to the Tropicana in Vegas for the Mosconi Cup. It's Europe against the USA for one of the biggest titles in 9-ball. And it's Mike Dechaine who is looking to give Team USA the edge. He currently leads Albin Ouschan by a rack and is just 2 away from the win that will give his team another valuable point.
He's made the 1 ball in the side. Now, can he get shape on that 2? It looks like he will if it doesn't fall. He doesn't want that ball to go.
Another good break shot by Albin.
Yeah, he's got this break down. Well, he got lucky that time because the cue ball was kicked back into the center of the table. But nevertheless, he's got everything he needs now.
7 balls all stayed down table. The only one went up table is the 2.
Yeah, but at least this one he can get to off of the 6.
Short race to 5. Really important game here for Albin. He does not want to go down 4-2.
Yeah, can't afford an error.
Relatively long shot on the 3, and he's got to control that cue ball for the 4. He's going to try and lay the 3 ball down there. After he makes the 3, lay the cue down a bit against the 8, maybe.
Yeah, if he contacts the 8, that'll leave him in good shape unless the 8 comes back and gets in the way.
Extension, please. Thank you.
And that's why he's taking his extension to make sure that that 8 ball doesn't get into his life.
This is the key shot to this rack for Albin right here. Get from the 3 to the 4. He's drawing over the side rail. He's going like that way. Nicely done.
That took the 8 out of it.
Couldn't have hit it any better than that. I'll tell you what, both these guys are playing real good right now, Jerry.
He's got to go from this pink 4 to the orange 5. That's not that difficult a task, but he needs to be on the top side of the 5 so he can lead the cue ball down for the green 6. It's always more complicated than it looks.
Yeah, he's where he wants to be. He's going to draw straight back.
Yeah.
Straight back to the side rail. Again, he's looking for the right angle he wants on the 6 ball next.
Well, he has enough angle to move over to the right side rail and off towards center table for the 7.
He doesn't have a lot of angle here, does he, Jerry?
No, but you know, with a little left spin, that cue ball will act real nice for him.
He's got to get that cue ball up above the 7.
Right.
He's going to have to stroke this pretty good. Oh, he went the other way. He decided to put the 7 in the end.
Boy, that was a tougher shot.
Real tough for position, but it looks like he got perfect on it.
Yeah, he had to be really precise on that, and he made it.
Of course, he had the option. If he went too far, he could have shot the 7 in the side. But he couldn't have done much better than this. He can just draw straight back for the 8.
Never a doubt on that 7 ball. And it's nothing but connect the 2 dots from here.
Albin's handled this rack perfectly.
Yeah, he has.
Going to be tied up.
And Team Europe comes over to inspire their man. And the captain, I'm sure, will have a word for him.
Marcus Shamat, some words of encouragement for his rookie.
Well, Albin got the job done on his break. Now Dechaine has to do the same thing. Well, you can see there's a bit of a lift now in Albin's eyes.
Big game coming up. The winner of this game will be on the hill, needing one game to win the match. Mike's break has been kind of erratic. Albin's been breaking great.
The balls are being racked at random. This time the 2-ball winds right up behind the 1, so it should move toward the top of the table.
I see Pat Fleming of AccuStats. He's doing the ratings on these matches.
Dechaine knows that.
7, USA breaks.
So if he can slide the 1 into the side pocket, he should be in good stead. The 1 ball does not go into the side pocket.
Did he come empty again?
And he is empty. He is dry, and Albin Ouschan gets another opportunity. It's a great spread table. There's really not much to stop him.
Mike just can't find the right spot on that break.
Well, he's gone over the side pocket. He's gone under the side pocket. He's got to get somewhere in between with his speed.
And look at this, 9 balls, everything out in the open, no 2 balls close together.
Yeah. Albin just needs to take his time and plod through this rack.
He was rock solid last rack. Can he do it again? He's got to bridge a little tough here.
Yeah, got to jack that backhand up. That makes it a bit tougher, but he doesn't have to do much. If he draws back 3 or 4 inches, he's fine. Ooh, that's a little tougher than I thought he would face, but the cue ball would be moving toward the side of the table where the 3 is if it doesn't collide with the 9.
Yeah, the 9 ball's in the way here a little bit. He may try to slide off the top of the 9. That's what he's looking at. Come off the 2, hit the 9 ball. You know, Jerry, he might knock that 9 towards the corner pocket where the 3 is.
Well, he may, but the 9 ball, if he moves it, it could provide a problem for him because it can get in the way. He'd love to get shape on the 3 and leave that 9 right there. But can he?
That's what he wanted to do. He used the 9 ball for position, but he's going to have an awkward bridge again. I don't think he can stretch. Can he stretch out? No, he's got to use the bridge and shoot over the top of the 4.
And let's not forget the 5-7 are a bit tough. He's got to get great shape on the 5 ball.
Is he going to lean out for this ball? Well, the good thing is all he's got to do is make it because he can shoot the 4 if he makes. Yeah, he's way out there. Nicely done by Albin.
Helps to be young and limber.
He may actually try to roll down there and shoot the 5 on the side, but the 5 is tough. The 6 is tough. Still a lot of work to be done this rack.
Albin's quite the athlete. You ask him what his hobbies are, he says all sports.
He's a jock. That's what he did. He played shape to shoot the 5 in the side. He got there. What's he going to do with the 6, though?
That's
Is he going to bank it?
I don't think he'd want to play shape for a bank.
Does he have a choice, though? I mean, does he want to hit this ball 5 hard and draw the cue ball? Yeah, look, see where he's where he's putting his cue? He's going to have to put a stroke on his ball to do this. Oh, maybe he's going up in the end. Look at this. He's going up in the end. Good shot. Why didn't I think of that?
Because your name's not Albin. He doesn't have as much angle on the 6 as he would like. He's going to have to settle for a bit more angle on the 7 than he wanted, but he can come back and forth across the table to the 8. So while it's a small hurdle, it's nothing he should trip on. And let's not forget, if he gets through this rack, he's got the next break.
powerful shot there. He just got up far enough for shape on the 7. He can cut the 7 in the corner and go back and forth across the table. He'd like to be straight in on the 8 next. This is all speed control. This kid looks really sharp right now, though.
Yes.
This looks good. This looks good. This looks really good.
That is some fantastic cue ball control.
Well, he's all he's got to do is shoot the 8 and let the cue ball roll forward. This is probably the easiest shot of the rack so far. Everything else has been tough. The 9 ball for the lead. I like that he takes his time here because this is no gimme.
Yeah, because his cue ball is on the cushion.
Very composed.
Just got to give it a clean stroke. They don't get cleaner than that. Albin Ouschan now leads our race to 5, 4-3, and he will be breaking. So Mike Dechaine has got to make something happen.
Look at Marcus dancing up to his seat.
What a character he's always been. The happiest guy in the room.
Smiles all around Team Europe.
They lead 4-3. Okay. Settle down, everybody, please. Settle down, please. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Dechaine can't even stay in his chair. He's got to stand up.
He'd like to see how he's breaking these balls.
One ball does not go.
But there's
no, it's a dry break.
I think Mike can see the 1, and if he can play a good safety here.
He's happy to be in control of the table. See, the 1 ball just does not fall into the side pocket. Speed is so critical on that break shot.
Mike's got his shot picked out real quickly here. That's what he wanted to. Oh no!
Oh.
He didn't want to make a ball.
That's a tragedy. That virtually turns things over to Europe because there's not much Dechaine can do with this shot. This is madness.
He trapped himself here.
So unfortunate that kick put the 7 away. He cannot believe it.
A little courtesy, please.
It went from a great shot to a horrible shot in a split second.
Courtesy to the players. Thank you. Extension, please.
I don't know what Mike can do here. I'll tell you, Jerry.
You know,
He's going 2 rails. He's trying to hit at 2 rails.
This is tough.
He'll be lucky to hit this.
I'm surprised
ball
he's not
all.
just tying some balls up and taking a foul.
Wow.
That can be the safety that cost him the match.
Ball in hand, Europe.
Albin's got ball in hand. It looks like he can shoot the 1 in the side to start this rack.
Yeah, Mike has studied the table. He knows there's not much trouble out there. All Albin's got to do is stay within himself now.
Can he run another rack?
The last rack is the toughest one to win because of your nerves. You know what's on the line.
So far, so good. He's got a perfect angle.
He just has to run down table for the 3.
He's going to go all the way down to the far side rail and bounce off for the 3. That's the plan here. And it's pretty wide. There's nothing in the way of his path.
No.
No blockers. Oh, he went this.
Well, he didn't want this much angle, but he can sure work with it. The only thing he has to avoid now is getting tied up by the 9.
Yeah, he's got to hit this ball kind of soft. Yeah, you see him shake his head. He got a little bit more angle than he wanted.
It makes Niels nervous. Vandenberg is on the edge of his seat.
This is a spot where if you hit the edge of the 8, it's not so bad. Let's see what he's going to do here.
He's going to try and draw out behind the 8.
He opted to take a little tougher angle, which was pretty smart. See where he put his cue? He's just showing you where he wants to put the cue ball next. Right where he put his cue tip on the rails, where he'd like the cue ball to end up for the 5.
He has to focus on the shot first, though. We've seen so many players think about position so much that they miss the shot.
And he went a little far. He's got a shot of the 5, but
boy, this is a tester here. Dechaine shaking his head every time a ball falls. It's like a bullet through his heart.
Extension, please. Thank you.
a bullet through his heart. I got to remember that one. This is the big shot right here. Can he make the 5 and get position on the 6?
Dechaine can't believe that ball went down. It's unbelievable that that ball fell on such a tight table. How did that happen?
Well, it wiggled in.
If you hit 2 faces, that ball's supposed to stay up.
Well, he's in good shape now.
Yeah, he sure is.
Will he opt to shoot the 9 in the side, or will he try to go above the 9? Yeah, it's a little bit of 6 and 1, a half dozen the other. Which pocket he wants to shoot the 9 in?
Well, with the way his adrenaline's flowing, I like going out 2 rails and going on top of the 9.
Look at this. He's drawing the ball back and forth.
That's the break Dechaine had to have. And he's got a shot. Team Europe is in shock.
That's got to be nerves, Jerry. He tried to do way too much on this shot.
We've been saying it all week about how tight these tables are.
Can Mike shoot this 5?
Yes.
Look, he's trying to shoot the 5 past the 9 down in the corner. It's tight. It's a tight fit.
But it's a 2-way shot.
He almost hit the point of the side pocket there.
That's what scared me.
He was trying to squeeze that ball in, but like you said, he was playing safety as well.
Albin has no choice but to go for it.
Jump shot. Tough jump shot here.
He made that ball. He got shape on the 9. What an unbelievable pull from the gut from Albin Ouschan. Oh, my.
Talk about a gut check.
Take a look at this. Right in the heart of the pocket, and the cue ball stops. Let me have a shot at the 9.
He's got to make this one after that jump shot, and he did.
9 ball down. Europe takes one back, and they now lead the Mosconi Cup 4-2-3. Look at Europe celebrate. Jason Shaw down there to help them. Team America consoles their player, and the crowd, half of them are very, very happy. Half of them can't believe that jump shot. Albin taking his bows, and the crowd is really appreciative of it.
A remarkable jump shot on the 8 allowed Ouschan to slot home the 9 and give his team a vital point in the overall standing. Dechaine back in action later on in the session, but coming up next, the second doubles match of the day, featuring Corey Deuel and Shane Van Boening for the USA against Darren Appleton and Carl Boyd, who represent Europe, in the Party Poker Mosconi Cup of 2015.